Welcome, guys, to Real Reviews, the number one place for the best reviews and reactions to your favorite shows, movies, music, and more. So today we're going to be covering a film that I had forgotten to watch. I wanted to see it when I seen the trailer, but I never actually got a chance to actually sit down and watch the whole film until just recently. And that film is going to be called The Meg, featuring Jason Statham, released in 2018, following about a giant shark or a megalodon that has escaped from a trench and is now terrorizing regular civilized society. I was like, I had this urge in my head. I just knew that this film was gonna be good. I don't know what about it. I had a feeling that I didn't want to write it off as just another stupid shark movie. I just knew it. I knew something about it, something about the trailer, something about the concept, something about the fact that it was based off a book. I knew that would be significant and that would play a part in the execution of the film and the delivery to the audience. So I went and I checked this one out, guys, and let me tell you, as far as shark films go, I would have to say The Meg is probably top three. Probably top three. I would say probably top three. Jaws obviously is the pinnacle or the peak or the what's the word I'm looking for? Not the prototype. It's like the blueprint of a good shark film. Jaws 1 encapsulates everything. I mean, it encapsulates the terror of having to deal with this shark in its environment underwater, what that would look like if it were to actually affect a society or a beachfront community or any larger group as a whole. And also, it did a good job of showing the shark itself. I mean, the shark was huge and scary, and the Meg basically took everything that Jaws did and it made it bigger. So I'm very excited to get into this one, guys, but first and foremost, let me go ahead and get our spoiler-friendly review out of the way so that we can really get down to business. So, guys, if you haven't seen The Meg yet, so I don't spoil anything for you, it is of epic proportion. It is definitely a hit summer blockbuster and definitely going to get our real review seal of approval. That is right. The Meg, featuring Jason Statham, about a giant 70-foot shark that is just terrorizing the ecosystem. Great movie. Without spoiling too much, the acting is great. There's a great acting. There's great storyline. There's great storyline. There's a great plot with this shark. Why it's a threat. Why they have to get rid of it. Like how it got there in the first place. Everything is set up really well. And it's not a long film. It's over quickly. It doesn't beat around the bush too terribly much. It does enough backstory and enough character building for you to really care for these characters, but it's aware of what it is and it doesn't take itself too seriously. So The Meg is definitely something that you should sit down and watch. The effects of the shark are great. If you want to see a shark chomping on some people, I mean, this is the one for you. And it is a 70-foot shark, and they show all 70 feet of it in the movie. So definitely check this one out. Definitely real review certified. Definitely worthy of our stamp of approval. And yeah, guys, I mean, big time summer blockbuster. I think if Jaws is number one, I don't see why you couldn't put The Meg as number two. That's just the way it is. Anyway, now let's get into some spoilers. This isn't going to be a terribly long video because there's not really too much to touch on. The movie is pretty simple, but yeah, I mean, the trailers don't really show you, but this movie has a ton of technology. There's a ton of like futuristic technology. It goes into the science of like trenches, like the Mariana Trench. It goes into like I forget what the word for it was, but like underneath the water, like heat signatures, like what is it called? I forget the name of it. The way the shark comes out, where there's pressure and freezing temperatures up until a certain point, and then you dive underneath that point, and then it's inhabitable. I forget what that's called, but yeah, that's how the shark gets out. It rides the current of one of these ships, so it rides the heat of the ship through like a little passage, and that's how it comes into the main water supply. There's tons of stuff like that. There's tons of cool science and scientist kind of stuff like that There's great character building with Jason Statham. I mean, his whole arc of like he's like has to save people, and he has to carry the burden of not always being able to save everybody, but done in such a great way. I mean, there's the characters, there's the Asian woman, her daughter, the whole team of scientists that's surrounding them. Each have their role, engineer or the money, the benefactor, and each one is played perfectly and not over the top, but just enough where you really want to just sit down and watch this movie. There's great humor. There's great humor, not some crappy jokes, but some funny jokes. For example, like there's that one time where they're trying to get the shark, and the one guy's like, "Oh, why don't you just use a tracker?" He's like, "Have you ever watched Shark Week?" And everybody's just kind of like, it's stupid, but it's funny because it's true. You're like, "Yeah, you're right. We should just put a tracker on this thing." But yeah, man, it's just crazy. So the story, the effects are there, and the shark itself looks great. This is a great looking shark on film. It's hard to believe it. It looks great, and it's huge. It's massive. Every time you see this thing, you immediately feel the fear, that instinctual fear that, man, if I was in the water with something like this, I wouldn't stand a chance. And there are some scenes that are genuinely terrifying because of that. That scene where the shark tries to bite on the girl, that's pretty scary. Some of the death scenes where the shark just gnaws on somebody or swallows them, that's also very unnerving to see. Speaking of which, man, let's get into that beach scene. There is a scene in this film when there's a spring break party or something on a beach, and there's about 100 people there. Oh yeah, the shark pulls up, eats about 20 people. Eats about 20 people all on screen, just gnawing people, biting people. You're seeing him eating people. Eats, like I said, about 20 people. There's one guy in the water on one of those little balls that floats on the water that you can kind of roll around in. He just bites that thing as a whole. I mean, it doesn't get much better than this. If you really want to see a horror shark film, this is the one for you. I mean, just great. The Shallows with Blake Lively was okay, a little bit more contained and a little bit more of a realistic sized shark. But man, this is the Godzilla of shark movies. I would say this is the Godzilla of shark movies. Like if you like Godzilla, you like kaiju, you like Pacific Rim, you're gonna love this movie and this big ass shark or sharks, because there's two of them. There might even be more. Who knows? The movie kind of leaves that up to interpretation. But anyway. Only weak part of the film is Jason Statham kills the shark with his bare hands. That was a little bit hard to believe. Jason Statham does kill the shark with his bare hands, but it's a great scene nonetheless. The shark breaches out the water. Jason Statham is holding onto his fin. He puts like a big pipe or something in his eyeball. That was kind of ridiculous, but I mean, Jason Statham riding a shark and then killing him with his bare hands. Who cares? You know, the movie itself is good enough where that's really not a terrible issue. So that's really it, guys. Just wanted to throw that one out there. If y'all haven't seen the Meg, or you have thought about it, or really weren't too sure about it, watch it. It's very good. The effects are very good. The story is very good. The shark eats about 30 people in the movie, so it's everything you want in a horror giant shark movie. Definitely real review certified. One more time with the certified. That's right, man. The Meg, you want the Meg. That's all I gotta say. The Meg, definitely check it out. Have you guys seen it? What are your thoughts on the film? What are your thoughts about sharks in general and underwater films? I'm pretty scared of sharks. I don't like to go in the ocean too much because I always have that fear that one time somebody told me, like, if you're up to your knees, a shark can get you, or any underwater organism can eat you. So not really big into ocean, not really big into sharks. So movies like this definitely are right up my alley as far as terror and excitement. So anyways, guys, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. This was a shorter video, but nonetheless, we're going to keep a bunch more and keep active on this channel. We're going to keep putting content on this channel. But anyway, like, comment, share, subscribe. Send any submissions, designs, feedback, or ideas to reelreviewsandreactions@gmail.com. That's real with 2 E's. And make sure to turn in for the next one. Catch y'all on the next one. Y'all have a great day.